that of a wild female hippo of Jessica's age. But veterinarian Peter Rogers has managed to get more information on sweet potatoes and the impact they're having on Jessica.
How's it going with the most?
Instead of comparing her diet to wild hippos, Peter has examined what captive hippos are fed in the zoo.
The bulk of their diet is formed of a good quality, like a hay.
That's where they don't have natural grazing.
Yeah. Alfalfa hay, they call it there, or lucerne, which is very high in protein, okay?
As well as the lucerne hay, zoo hippos also get some horse pellets and various vegetables, including sweet potatoes. But they don't eat nearly as many as Jessica does. To get an idea of what her diet means for Jessica, Peter has examined the nutritional value of her favorite vegetable.
It consists mainly of carbohydrates, which is like a type of a sugar, and then very low in fat.
And protein, I suppose, also.
Protein, very, very low. And this is, I think, when you think that protein is the, hello, my girl.
Becky.
Becky. Protein is the bricks to build muscles, okay?
Exactly.
Peter believes that Jessica is surviving on a diet of sugar from the sweet potatoes. If she were fed the lucerne hay and horse pellets, she'd get more roughage and protein. The roughage will slow the passage of food, stopping her diarrhea and helping her to absorb more nutrients. The protein will help her to grow.
It's not as though she's in bad condition. I mean, let's not get it wrong, but she just needs a few more building blocks in the form of protein.
Increasing Jessica's protein intake could also improve her chance of becoming a mother.
If we don't do that, we might end up with an animal that doesn't grow out to her full potential. And in so doing, she does not actually reach the required body requirements and weight in order to be mated, which we all want to see.
Getting Jessica to actually eat the lucerne hay and horse pellets is a strategy that Tony has tried before.
I went there to a guy, I got some good quality lucerne.
Yes.
And I got a bale there.
Yeah.
I put it out for her here.
She wouldn't touch it.
She didn't touch it. Eventually I gave it to the wild hippos.
Yeah.
I got her a bag of horse pellets.
Yes.
That I eventually donated to the elephants.
Yeah, you see, this is a problem. It's gonna be a gradual process.
So she doesn't want to eat this stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe, okay, I'm talking of about 2 years ago. Maybe now she might.
She's going to have to somehow get it into,
Yes.
even if you mix the sweet potatoes or chop the sweet potatoes up and mix it in with that hay, that she gets in, and then gradually she'll get the taste. Should we correct her diet now and she goes onto it and takes it within a reasonable amount of time, the possibility of her falling pregnancies are quite good, but nobody knows for sure.
Come now, Jess.
So Tony and Shirley decide to give it another shot and head out to buy some horse pellets and some hay to feed to Jessica. It's important that Jessica takes to her new diet. To encourage her, Tony and Shirley mix the hay with chopped up sweet potatoes. It's a failure. Jessica eats the potatoes, but spits out the hay. So Tony tries to feed her the horse pellets by mixing them in with the dog biscuits. Jessica is unimpressed. Tony and Shirley's enthusiasm for Jessica's new diet is beginning to wane. Shirley is worried about how Jessica is taking the change.
She goes in a state of depression. She doesn't sleep well. She doesn't want to come into the house. She doesn't want her coffee. She actually feels neglected. And that's the bad part.
And Tony is also disillusioned. He's always viewed the sweet potatoes, dog food and coffee as treats. Because Jessica roams free, Tony feels her diet shouldn't be compared to captive hippos' diet, but to those living a natural life in the wild.
The wild hippos down there at the bottom, they don't get lucerne at all. They just eat this wild grass. They don't get sweet potato and that. And they're feeling very, very well. So I don't have any problem with the diet. If she doesn't like the stuff, just don't give it to her.
Tony maintains that, like the wild hippos, Jessica should be left to grow and mature at her own pace, as nature intended, and without further interference.
I'm not going to force her to become pregnant early. I don't want suddenly to start changing her diets and forcing her this and forcing her that. I don't agree with that. I leave it in nature. When she's right, one day she will have a baby.
Whenever Jessica is ready to mate, she will need a bull hippo to mate with. Wild hippos live in groups of females controlled by a single territorial male. When a female comes on heat, the male is on hand, ready and waiting to mate. Male hippos have to fight for the privilege of possessing their own territory and females. Until they've won a territory, they roam widely, spending their days alone in the river or in bachelor groups. And because females tend not to roam, Jessica seems comfortable staying put. Tony is confident that when the time is right, hippo bulls will come to her. But there's just one problem. At present, Jessica is scared of other hippos.
For the moment, Jessica would rather be with me than with another hippo. For a reason that she was attacked about a month and a half ago by a pregnant hippo cow. And she's now got a fear of wild hippos, which I'm helping her to overcome.
Wild hippos regularly pass by Tony's place, but getting Jessica near one of them is virtually impossible. Tony and Shirley's best hope lies in the charms of a 10-year-old bachelor named Charlie. Charlie's recently decided to make a home for himself in Jessica's patch of the river. Coming up,
This window was broken by Jessica. The door handle was broken by Jessica.
Jessica is shut out in the cold.
For the time being, we won up on her.
And Shirley and Tony go midnight matchmaking.
What is this is a good thing, because he's so close to her.
In South Africa, Jessica the hippo is afraid of the other hippos. But now her adoptive human parents, Shirley and Tony, have spotted a male hippo who has started to come calling.
At the moment, Charlie's lying behind that small little fig tree. He normally feels safe there. Sometimes he comes even closer to this first little island here.
Amazingly, this isn't the first time that Tony and Charlie have crossed paths. About 2 years ago, Tony was asked as a former game ranger to put down a hippo that had become trapped.
Yeah, he fell into a concrete reservoir. I was asked to go and put him down. And when I got there, I decided against it.
Instead of putting the hippo down, Tony wanted to save it. He created a ramp using sandbags, and by the following morning the hippo had climbed out. The hippo's distinct scars meant that Tony could recognize him. Is it just coincidence that this hippo, Charlie, tracked down the man who saved his life?
And he turned up here 3 weeks later, and he never left. I wonder if he knew that that was me that saved him.
No, I think he did.
What I've realized with Jessica is that we most definitely underestimate animals. Yeah, donkey man, Lucy. Donkey man, Lucy. Super Charlie.
Jessica will never get pregnant if she doesn't feel relaxed enough to hang out with wild hippos.
Come on, Super Charlie, man, Lucy. Come on, Super Charlie.
Encouraging her to overcome her fear with Charlie is a slow process.
You've got to be patient. Gradually, she's got to build up her confidence with him by what we're doing daily here, trying to get Charlie come closer and get Jessica closer to Charlie.
But when Tony tries to leave Jessica alone with Charlie, she makes it clear whose company she prefers. And Jessica's shyness isn't the only obstacle to overcome. In the evening, when wild hippos, including Charlie, are most active, Jessica is enjoying her bedtime massage.
She was actually attacked by a wild hippo cow. And she had a lot of scars over all these areas, and we used aromatherapy essential oils. And by exfoliating and massaging her, you can almost not even see it anymore. And since we started the therapy, well, she's addicted to it. She has to have it. She's a donkey, my
So while Jessica is sleeping, Charlie is wide awake and having fun pushing the raft around. Getting Jessica to hang out with any wild hippo is a matchmaker's nightmare. Not only is she scared of them, but she's asleep when they're awake. But Tony has a plan. The following night, he and Shirley take matters into their own hands and bring Jessica down to the raft.
Where's Charlie? Is he still there?
They hope that if they stay on the raft, Jessica will have the confidence to remain in the water when Charlie approaches.
Charlie.
But this means that Tony and Shirley will have to let a wild bull hippo approach them. Hippos are deceptively fast. Weighing around 2.5 tons, Charlie could easily kill them both if he feels threatened. In this scenario, a rifle offers little protection.
Okay, before we start now, if something happens now, this rifle here, what do? You just slam it down and pull the trigger.
On one side of the raft, Jessica is relaxing in the water. On the other side is Charlie.
What he's doing there now, he's not yawning. Trying to show us his size, how big he is. Even in the wild, when two bulls meet, they open mouths and they see which one has got the biggest mouth. That's how they size each other up.
Magnificent.
Listen,
It's unreal.
We can't trust him. Now, one knock with his snout and this raft will be upside down.
To get to Jessica, Charlie has to pass underneath the raft that Tony and Shirley are lying on.
He's coming here. Move back. He's getting underneath the raft.
I know. Just relax.
He's gone underneath, yeah? We just monitor what's happening.
Waar's hier, liefie?
Let's see where he is. He's underneath, right here. See, he's about 2 meters from us.
Just lie still.
Oh, jeez, this is a good thing. Because he's so close to her, and yet he doesn't attack her. So,
But having a wild hippo so close isn't such a good thing for Tony and Shirley.
we're in a very dangerous situation. Very, very dangerous. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced a wild hippo so close like this. Well, it's absolutely ridiculous to really have a hippo that close. I think fellow game rangers who know me will say, but what was wrong with that guy allowing hippo to come so close?
With Jessica looking relaxed in Charlie's company, Tony decides it's time to leave them alone.
We should actually really get off the raft and let them be the two. She's now lying about 2 meters from him. So maybe they will do something tonight, get to know each other better.
As the days go by, Jessica slowly gets used to having Charlie around. Hippopotami are naturally social animals, and in the absence of lots of hippos to hang out with, Jessica has become friends with Tony's dogs. Puppies have arrived, and sooner or later they'll have to meet Jessica. All of Tony's dogs have survived their introduction, But there's always a risk that in her excitement